My father's an odd guy, and he sat me down, and he said, "I think my mother told me you need to talk to him."
Oh,
I had three older sisters. I was the only boy, so she said you need to talk to him. And what he told me was, he said, when you have sex with a woman, you need to make her desire you. So you enter her. He just skipped all the like how it works. He just said you enter her a little bit, you touch, just barely touch her, and then you come out and you withhold. He was Mexican and he had a weird sort of traditional. He'd say, and then you make her beg and beg, and then you go in again and you go only a little bit, and then you just come out again, and you keep withholding until she can't stand it. Wow. And only then do you really penetrate her, and she'll come like a rocket. Like he taught me how to make a woman come. He wasn't wrong.
right.
He wasn't wrong. Yeah. But I think you need to tell a little kid some other shit first before you get to like how to make a middle-aged woman come.
Yeah, that's
you know
crazy.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what he was like. He was very narcissistic and,
Wow.
When I was a senior, I never really got in fights. I just didn't. It just didn't happen to me. I was kind of bigger than a lot of kids my age, so I guess that, I just didn't, and I didn't have a lot of conflicts with people. So I never really got much into fights. I just sort of slid through, And then at senior year, or I don't remember, junior or whatever, but I was high a lot, and I was in the library, and I was laughing. I was making a lot of racket in the library. I used to get yelled at all the time for being loud in the library. And this kid who's a sophomore, little kid who was like this on me, kind of skinny and wearing a leather jacket. He goes, "Hey, shut the up." Because he was just annoyed. And the worst part is he was right. Like I knew in my head, I'm being annoying.
Yeah.
But I said, "F you." Like, and I'm just like, it's status. I'm a senior, you're a sophomore. F you, shut up. And he goes, "What, f me?" And I go, "Yeah, f you." And he comes over and he goes, "You want to go out right now? I'll kick the shit out." He's smaller than me, but he's wiry. And I'm like, I'm scared. I was terrified. Because I don't want to fight this kid. Even if I win, I'm not going to like go unscathed. I don't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
I don't want to be punched in the face. I don't want any of this to happen. And he's standing above me and he's like, "You want to go?" And I was just like, "No, I don't want to. I don't want to fight." And he's like, "Then shut the up then." And I was like, and my friends were so ashamed of me. And for the rest of the year, I was terrified of this little kid scare. I did an episode about it in my show, and where there's some high school kid threatens to beat me up, and I back down and I apologize to him. Because I don't want to get. Yeah, that kid really, he haunted me for a long time.
It can happen.
Yeah.
It can happen.
Yeah, and he's somewhere now, I went to Cabot School, elementary school, and Cabot Park was a hang. Mm-hmm. And to cross Cabot Park, sometimes you'd get these guys that would just converge on you, and they would play games with you, and you didn't know what was going on. Right. Like, "Hey, kid, come here. And then all of a sudden you're in the middle of the park, and you're like,
yeah.
I remember once as kids, he said he had $100 bill for some reason, and he said, "We're going to play this game," and they're all surrounding me, and he puts the $100 bill on my hand, and he gives me a cigarette, and he says, "If you can burn a hole in his head all the way through, I'll give you the $100 bill." And I was like, I don't want to do it. And
Jesus Christ.
"No, try it. And I was trying to do it, and it hurt like fuck. And I don't remember how that ended. Like, I just remember that terrifying, and they're all staring at me. And one time, some kids had a cup of puke. It was like a coffee cup with puke. And he said, "Can you drink this whole thing? If you drink this whole thing, we'll give you a beer." That was that thing.
Oh, God.
Drink
these the puke and I'll give you a beer.
Yeah. These guys just scared me. And then when I grew up, I hung out with those kids and smoked cigarettes. That's where I learned to smoke cigarettes in that park. And I drank my first beer in that park.
I just feel like in World War II, I just feel I understand Germany was bad. Can't denounce that. But why doesn't Japan get more shit? They were assholes too.
Definitely assholes too.
They were bad. But it's just I don't think they care about this Asian on Asian hate. That's the problem.
Yeah, because they were after the Chinese. They were
that's
killing
what
a
it
lot
is.
of Chinese people.
They were raping babies and bayoneting them and everything.
I mean, I don't know those specific things, but they did a lot of bad stuff, yeah.
Yeah. It's if we say it here on this podcast, it's a fact in this world. They were raping and bayoneting babies.
I don't doubt that one Japanese soldier raped and bayoneted a baby. And it might have been 17.
To rape a baby is psychotic. Even Hitler wouldn't do that.
I think Hitler was I don't know if he was left alone in a room with a baby.
Right. Would he rape him?
It's hard to say. Like if you leave a bunch of 1,000 monkeys alone with 1,000 typewriters, they'll write a great novel. That's an old thing.
Is that a real thing?
It's not real, but it's a thing people say. So if you left 1,000 Hitlers alone with 1,000 babies,
one would rape one.
At least one, yeah.
My whole life is about my kids, right? So I try to be like, how am I getting the best parent to them? And I don't want them to be afraid, because my daughter, the older one, is already asking questions, because they teach in school. They like my daughter in school. Yeah. She came home and they teach her already about white privilege and white and.
Does she go to private school, or where does she go to
private school? Yeah. And white people, and she was like, "You're white." Like she was. I don't want to say she's angry at me because I'm white, but she was like, "You're white," and kind of what do you have to say for yourself? And I was like, "Look at our house."
What's your wife? What kind of
Puerto Rican?
Oh yeah, okay.
So she's Puerto Rican. So
she's right.
Yeah. She identifies more with the Puerto Rican side.
You should tell her you're right. I'm this is white privilege. You don't want none of this. Get out.
Get out.
Get out.
Get out.
Take your brown mom and get the fuck out of my White House. For your own good, so you don't have to be horrible like me.
Get the
more room for me in the white privilege world.
Yeah.
The thing about these guys is, this is what I think about Christie, okay? He's got an idea in his head of who he is and what he believes in. That's what I feel when I see him talk now. And that's what these guys are usually missing, the ones who lose. I used to watch American Idol. Love that show. I love any show that's emotional. So I watch Deal or No Deal. I used to watch that all the time. You ever watch that show?
Yeah, that's great.
I was watching Deal or No Deal because I was depressed and I didn't want to change the channel, and I was just staring at it. And it was a Marine who was during the Iraq War. He was in New York on leave. And they talked to him. He's got all his medals. And he says, I'm a little bummed because my family lives in San Diego and I don't have time. I'm only here for 2 days. I go ship back out. And so, of course, Howie Mandel goes, well, they're here. And we flew him out. And his little girl, is crying, and he takes one knee just like Nixon did in my dream. And he hugs this little girl. She's crying and he's crying. It's huge.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, I'm starting, and my lips trembling.
Of course.
And then they do the crazy Deal or No Deal, which is America.
Loses.
Just keep going, keep going, keep going. And there's always this moment where they're like, and the guy's going, oh my God, you could be, this is it. You've got $250,000, but you could get 10 million. And the guy's like, oh, and then he goes one step too far and the lights come on and it's depressing.
Back to Iraq.
Well, that's what usually happens. Yeah. But whenever somebody hits, I'm going to take, everybody's going, don't, keep going. He goes, no, I'm stopping here.
Yeah.
They always go, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
So this was one of those moments. He had a ridiculous, if you know the game at all the little baskets were gone. They were all retired. He had one for 10 million over here and whatever, crazy numbers. Yeah. And then one that was $5, but 8 of them were good.
Yeah.
And he had something like $250,000 on the thing. And everybody's saying, go. And he tells them in his military way, quiet. He says to his little daughter, you understand what's happening here? You understand how likely it is, how good the odds are that if I go one more step, I could get more money? I'm not doing that with your future. And I was sobbing. I was such a good man. He's such a good man. But I was talking about that because something else just like that. I've lost my mind at this point.
Yeah,
Do you remember how I got to Deal or No Deal? I was talking about
Trump, and we were talking about
I had a point.
What's his name?
Good.
Christie's talking.
Oh, American Idol.
Yes.
Whenever they sing a song on American Idol,
this is crazy.
I know.
This is crazy.
I know.
And Simon and them are asking them,
We
like,
fast forwarded those first 10 presidents, and now it's just like American Idol. This one time.
whenever they sing a song and Simon says you were a little pitchy, whatever.
Yeah.
The thing I always want them to ask these kids is, do you know what that song's about? Do you know what the song is about that you're singing? You know, like Clay Aiken, one of his big hits was Bridge Over Troubled Water. And he sings like a bridge over troubled water.
Yeah.
You know what that song is about? It's about like when you have nothing, when your life is shit, when you're down and out. I will lay myself down like a bridge over troubled water. You can walk on me. Like that's a profound and deep thing. Another one was a kid who sang, I hear a train a coming.
Yeah. Folsom.
Yeah, and he's singing it like this. I hear a train coming.
Yeah.
Woo! It's coming. He's literally between going, woo! It's coming around the bend. And I see the sunshine. That song is about a man who murdered somebody just to watch him. I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. And the sound of the train, because he can picture the cigars smoking. I bet they're smoking big cigars. That it tortures him to think of the freedom. He goes, I know I got it coming. I know I can't go free, but I hear the whistle blowing, and that's what tortures me. And he says, if I had all the money in the world and I was a free man, all I would do is move that railroad a little bit further down the line so I wouldn't have to hear the whistle. Like all he asks for is that the train was a little further away, that good life was further away. And this kid is singing it like it's grace because he just wants to win. He wants to be a winner. He wants to be loved. He wants to connect with the audience. To me, that's Trump. To me, the great presidents have been guys who are like, when I got an idea, I know what I'm singing about. I know what I'm about. I know for Clinton, it was the American people. He said it all the time. I don't think the American people want that. Like he was connected because he was a son of a Vegas blackjack dealer. He was an American. When Obama was president, he was an American.
Scientific
All the
method.
greatest theories in science have been like, Stephen Hawking, the guy with the, that guy.
Down Z.
He's so stupid. He's the stupidest man alive. That guy, he had a whole theory that he created that changed everything.
Relativity.
No. And then he had Hawking had this Hawking.
Hawking. Hey, Hawking.
He had a theory that was changed everything, and then he had students, and he told one of his students, just try this formula, like prove this, just for fun. And then the student couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Kept coming back, and then he realized, oh, my theory is totally wrong.
Ah.
And he had to admit it. His theory was flawed, it had flaws. So he had to redo it.
Now, is that how you feel about the vaccine and and AIDS and stuff? Like, how do you? Yeah. What about AIDS and stuff?
Well, AIDS.
I trust AIDS. I trust AIDS.
Do you?
AIDS is doing a great job at what it does. I'm not
what
saying
it
it
does.
should be doing it.
Right.
I'm saying it's
It's
It's a
efficient.
fantastic
yes, it's
virus.
efficient. Yeah, like 9/11, you had to end the sorrow and the anger and the rage and the sadness. You had to go, dude, fucking bullseye. Bullseye. Bullseye.
I'm glad you said it because I can't. You know what I mean? Thank you.
Bulls
Yeah.
fucking IE. Both? You got both?
Two.
Fucking and the Pentagon.
Yeah.
And the Pentagon. Are you
Yeah.
fucking
Crazy.
boom, boom.
And Building 7.
Building 7.
Fucking, yeah.
You know?
building- I mean, just Lord have mercy.
They were.
Masterpiece, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some might
It's
say
the Mona
that.
Lisa
I
of
wish they
terrorism,
hadn't.
for sure.
I wish they hadn't.
Sure.
But
Because of all the people that died.
Whoa, they really nailed it.